And welcome to part two, my beautiful people, of the 2024 predictions. I have a feeling there's going to be a part three and part four, so you better subscribe. And you
Yeah.
better hit the notification bell. We have Courtney Dillon, Jennifer Doran, and Ginger Bailey. And we're going to give you their information momentarily or toward the end or middle. We don't know yet. See, I don't know everything.
Be a surprise.
Let's go on with these. Hello again, Erik. And I don't need to say I love you because I just did like 30 minutes ago. You know. All right. Will, Erik, year 2024 be a better year or not? Overall.
I hear yes with that. I hear better because it is getting better each year from what we've been with. I mean, like, what was it? Even before the pandemic, things were kind of crazy. So he says that he shows it getting a little better.
2025, I feel like is going to be even better. But
each year he shows each year it's a step up. Like it's showing steps. I see going on.
All right. Yeah. What subject do you think our leaders will be most focused on next year? Leaders? What leaders?
What was it? What energy?
What subject do you think
what
will be more focused on?
Okay. Fighting with each other is the first thing.
Yeah.
Sorry.
All right.
That's what I heard.
Yeah. I do see like conflict, world conflict, stuff like that going on. They'll be focused on, and then also just in our area in the U.S., just dealing with what's happened over the last year, immigrants, economy, that kind of thing.
All right. What is the worst to come next year? Remember, there's no bad or good. We're all these
right. And I'll bring back up the weather stuff. I feel like some of the worst stuff coming this year is going to be weather related.
Yeah.
Natural disaster. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. I see some islands really struggling. I see also he shows like, I don't know if you guys see like a volcano, like maybe volcano that hasn't been active. And this is like, first it looked like Hawaii, but I think it's like New Zealand type area or something like that. But something.
Hurricanes.
I'm
getting hurricanes. Yeah, there's going to be a lot of, there's just so much of that feeling that, why is this happening here? Like hurricanes, and there'll be things that are strange weather patterns. Yeah.
Will it be a lot of fatalities, or will it be like, wow, I can't believe
potential?
There'll be
potential for that. Yeah. Cyclones, which I believe are the same as hurricanes, just in a different part of the world, right? Like cyclone, isn't that the same kind of storm? I kept hearing cyclones. I don't know what part of the world that is, but that's got potential
the Southeast Asia and all that, I think.
Yeah, fires, unfortunately.
I was seeing fires like big, like fires. In places that you usually, and that's what's crazy too. These things will happen in places that you usually don't have it a lot of. Erik also shows like I've heard people talk, and you guys probably heard this, like the tilt of the earth, like, oh, it's going to turn real quick and then everything's going to, fly away, or there's going to be major changes.
I'm holding on to everything on my desk.
Yeah, right. It's not going to happen that fast. It's going in a slow, he's showing it like a slow light change, but it's still making big differences on the planet. And that's kind of what's happening with this right now. So part of it.
Pole reversal eventually, or is that like hundreds of years out?
Eventually.
But it's
very slow. Very slow. It won't be fast.
Before,
It will. Yeah. It will. Yeah.
What parts of the world? Maybe name 2 or 3 parts of the world that will be most affected by these natural disasters.
Southeast Asia is one.
I was pulled into Asia is exactly where I was pulled.
Things coastal. I kept getting like coastal area. And then I see like where is this? Is this Istanbul? I keep hearing that place is Istanbul. Is that like Turkey?
Yes.
Somewhere around there. There's something going to happen there. Maybe earthquake, something like that.
Okay. All right. What's the best news of 2024?
I hear stuff about medical,
like some medical breakthroughs.
Medical stuff.
Technological breakthroughs, other technology that aren't connected to
Yeah.
So I am hearing that there's some really good stuff like coming.
Or organ transplant, I heard. We'll get better, like with stem cell kind of stuff.
Maybe 3D print organs. That'd be cool.
I
think they're doing that on like mice or something. I don't know. Not sure.
The
Stem cells here. Turn on the printer. It's not working. Unplug for 15 minutes. 15 seconds, and then plug it again. Let the printer reinitialize. Oh my God.
Right. And then all of a sudden shock it, and then it starts having life, right? That's where they're having a hard time, Erik says. Getting the into it, but there is going to be something he's showing me in tissue regeneration, so that might be like have to do with something like that. And then also some prevention with like cancers, and autism is a big one. We're going to be doing like a DNA type manipulation, trying to see if they can prevent it. There's a lot more prevention happening than because that's where it's at.
Does this feel connected to stem cell stuff being wider reaching?
I kept hearing stem cells.
Yeah,
I agree.
Okay.
Interesting. That's good. I would like us to change from a focused on sickness type society to focused on prevention and wellness, but
that's happening in pockets. Like honestly, this is happening in pockets around. People are becoming more aware that they need to take care of their physical body, but it's just taking time.
I'm also hearing, I don't know if you guys are getting this, like there's something about some of the medical schools now are starting to teach the new doctors. They're starting to have a small like shift. That sort of thing, so that, and no offense, but they're starting to take the training of doctors as a broader thing. Doctors, it's like your focus. This is your area. This is what you focus on. This is where doctors specialize. That's it. And they're starting to kind of shift some of the training of the doctors into a broader scope, or at least have those kind of classes available. And as the younger generations are coming up through, it's going to shift more towards mind, body, spirit. Treat the mind, body, spirit.
It's
rather
funny
than
that
this one thing.
Yeah, it's funny that you said that, because I right before you started saying that, I was getting about more doctors will be more holistic, is what I was hearing. So it'll be the new ones coming in, and even some that are already practicing for a long time. They're going to start switching to that direction.
Bringing that. If my appendix bursts, I want a surgeon, right? Okay, so there has to be like that balance of both. Right. And the medical field has been too out of balance for too long, and that shift is starting to happen.
Nobody taught us nutrition.
Yeah.
Which is wild if you think about it.
Right.
It's just awful. But I've always been holistic. When I about to go into a hospital room or exam room, I tell myself, I'm not going to leave this room until I know that person's life is even just a little bit better. And I think about their family situation, their conflict, even if they're just, no matter what they're there for. So,
what's interesting as we're talking about this, one of the things I'm seeing is this like kind of increasing frustration with people who are doctors or work in the medical profession. Like they're seeing so many sick people. Just so many, just so sick. And they're kind of like, there's like this increasing frustration of like, what is the issue here? Like, what do we need to do about this? And I think that's going to create some momentum for change.
Yeah, it needs to be more, because the science based, like they've always, you know, Elisa, like when we work in medical field, it's so science based, but there's going to be more spiritual mixed in with that. It's going to make a big difference.
Yeah.
Energy medicine.
And Erik is pointing out something that I actually think is true, and I'm going to mention. He said, for COVID, like when it first started, almost every doctor was saying, you got to take vitamin C, zinc, and D. Almost all the doctors were putting in the vitamins. And so that actually helped with like that shift of, okay, we have to look at more natural things and other things that can help as well. Because almost every doctor would say, take the,
everything got shut down because you can't make money on that. You can make money on vaccines.
Right. And the mindset has to change. And so that's what I see is changing too. With what we're all, you know, both you guys said, is the mindset changing, and how you said, Elisa, how you would not leave the room unless you knew you made them at least a little bit better. You know, their life was a little bit better. That's going to be more spread out. You know, it's not going to be like, okay, this is what my book says to do, so I'm going to do it, and you're just a number. It's going to be less of that and more personal.
To give an example, I was doing a truck driver physical on a FedEx driver, and I was talking to him, how are you doing? How's your family? And he started crying. He goes, what's wrong? What's going on? So he said that his wife, ex-wife, I guess, took their son away, and he has not seen that son for 13 years. I said, well, what is her name? What is his name? Go there, here's the address of your son. He could not.
See, go on that extra mile, go on that extra step, you know?
It's healing. We're healers. We have to find
very much
can't heal, you know?
Very much.
I'm also hearing we're going to start seeing in the hospitals, they're going to have like Reiki people on staff and nutritionists on staff. You're going to start seeing more of that in like hospitals all around
field.
Where they have.
That's good.
Yep.
All right. What will you be doing, Erik, in 2024? Besides pestering and pranking? We love
a little bit. He goes a little bit of partying, is what he said to me.
Good.
I know. I smiled too because I heard the same thing. I was like,
funny.
No, he's working hard.
More than usual.
Teaching people, helping people, guiding people, helping people toward the light is what I'm hearing.
Okay.
Right. Yeah.
Any dead people? Or people toward
I think he means just like their own personal light.
Okay, so God dang, let's not rush things.
Yeah.
All right. What's happening to global population growth? The growth rate dropped markedly in 2022. I wonder why. Birth rates are in decline globally and not following the normal trajectory. I don't think this new generation wants any babies.
They don't. Yes, they don't. No, I have been hearing, I don't know if you guys have gotten this, that we're going to start moving in that direction where the population is going to get smaller. There's a couple reasons. We're not looking to come in as quick and do the lessons as much. Okay. So less souls are looking to come in, boom, 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 boom. But so because of that, the younger generations aren't wanting to have kids as much. So I am hearing, at least for a while, we kind of move in that direction.
Yeah. I got the same thing.
It feels like a good thing to me, to be honest with you.
Right. It's going to bring more of a balance, you know, because the population does need to balance out a little bit, you know. I get the same thing, that it's the new generation or the younger generation are.
It's too expensive too.
You know, they're more. Erik just said, Erik said too, that a little bit more self-involvement, of self-awareness of that kind of thing, instead of how can I put this? Like the old ways. I'm trying to do it in a nice way, but the old ways, how it was, you get married, you have kids, you go to work, you know, things are changing on how we live life every day, and people are being more independent and more individual ideas of what they want, and kids aren't on the top of the list.
And I'll even say, like, I have a 25-year-old daughter, and she has had the same boyfriend for 6 years, and I don't feel like, oh, when are you guys going to have kids? Are you going to have, like, if you guys don't ever have kids, I'm okay with that. So even that, like, you know, people used to press, like, oh, when are you having kids? It's like, you don't want to have kids.
No, I don't do that with my kids at all.
You do not have to,
Christmas is already crazy enough. Jeez. So, I mean, back in the long ago, people had 14 kids, and of course they didn't understand birth control as well, but they needed the help on the farm. Now, if the population drops dramatically, what they're seeing in China with the one child rule is that they're in deep dog shit, because they're not going to have the workforce need. So of course they'll be taken care of by robots probably anyway, so it's okay.
Were you guys getting anything different in the population thing as far as kind of
I think it's going to stay declining a bit.
When you said robots, that was something earlier I was going to say. There's going to be more robotics in the medical field. I totally lost it, but when you said robots, it brought it back. There's going to be more robotics with that and other job industries and stuff. We'll be seeing more of them.
Now, I don't know about this case. Will Michael Dunahee, that case be solved? He is a Canadian missing child who disappeared from a park in Victoria, British Columbia, March 24th, 1991. Never been found or seen since.
I don't
I
think
don't
it
hear
will
it.
be solved.
I'm not getting that it's going to be solved.
Is he alive?
I don't
Is
feel
he
as though
alive?
I don't know.
No.
Okay. Did he die from natural
No.
or
No.
okay?
No,
No.
not natural.
He's buried somewhere is what I'm
Okay.
hearing. This,
All right. Will there be any major earthquakes in North America?
No, I don't get in North America. No.
Mm-mm.
Do you guys
Around
get
the
that?
world, we mentioned Turkey.
I think there are going to be earthquakes in the world.
Yeah,
for
there
sure.
will. There will definitely be. There's going to be a lot of.
Free.
I'm getting like under the ocean, which is causing tsunamis. I get that too. Yeah.
Okay.
Islands.
Oh,
I keep getting islands. I don't know why. I keep getting islands in trouble. Islands in trouble.
Islands in the Phuket, tsunami.
Mm.
I mean, or the Japanese islands, earthquakes and that Ring of Fire thing. It's certainly possible.
Yeah. Yeah.
Is the
It's just crazy.
Bitcoin ETF going to be a huge catalyst for Bitcoin? And they want a price target, but I don't want to do that. It's too hard.
I don't see anything big with that, but
potential here. I don't know if it happens this year. The Bitcoin ETF does have potential to be.
Yeah.
Really I don't feel like it's real big this year is what I'm feeling like. Other things are they're focused on more.
Will the US be using Bitcoin as legal tender ever? I mean, well, let's say 2024, because this is what that's about.
Not
24. No,
not 2024. No.
Will we use Bitcoin for strategic defense this year, or or financial defense? Either of those two. I don't know exactly how that would be entailed, but just give her as a yes or no. You probably know, Erik, but we don't.
I'm not getting a good feel.
No.
I'm getting a no.
No.
What kind of stocks, or just do stock sectors, right, are growing in 2024? Probably defense stocks.
Defense food? Like some kind of like food industry, I heard.
Energy.
Okay. Good.
The medical, the technology, that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
All right. I'm curious about the social economic credit score that is being implemented in many countries right now. I'm wondering if the US will try to implement this as well. And if they do try to implement it, will they be successful?
They will try to implement it at some point.
Yeah, I don't know how well it's going to go in 2024. If it'll get implemented this year. I have no idea. I've never heard of it.
I'll look it up.
I don't know that it comes into play this year.
I feel like what I'm getting, what Eric is showing me, is there's other things that are more demanding right now than that being a focus here in our country.
Yeah,
education.
Okay, I got to be honest. Our politicians and the decision makers. Yeah, this doesn't feel like something front and center.
Right.
Right now, anyways.
The differences in procedures between occupation and assessed by education required. I'll read about it later, but what is it's a measure of one's access to collectively desired resources and a fundamental construct. Basically, it sounds like it's no, I'm not looking at the right thing. Probably it's a redistribution of wealth thing. All right, what do you think about social economic credit scores, Erik? And page turn. Will something like this have an enormous impact on individual freedom?
It possibly could. It doesn't feel like anything's happening with it this year at all.
Yeah.
I don't get, at least in the United States.
Will it help to reduce criminal activity if it does ever come to be?
No, it won't affect criminal activity.
They're always going to find a way.
But it won't.
They always find a way. They always find a way to get around or through or use things to break the law.
Or just, shift to something different. Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
Will the criminal justice system be better? I mean, these prosecutors who let people out, like a revolving door only to kill other people. Will the
I am hearing there'll be some headway on the criminal justice system this year. Yes.
What about homelessness this year?
I get there's an increase in homelessness, unfortunately.
Yeah. You know, what I hear with that too, is, and I've seen this, especially like where I'm at, like they did, and this is just an example, they did this thing where they put out these tent houses. We did it for where the people are usually staying for the homeless. And Eric's saying, like, sometimes that's just their way of life. That's what they know. So as much as someone wants to help them to live like, you know, they think they want to live, it's not really how they want to live. Does that make sense? Like it's almost like they feel comfortable living on the street and how they're doing, you know, they don't necessarily.
It's like what we do to other countries when we go to war with them. All of a sudden we try to change their government and all that stuff. And you're supposed to live where we live. And
and it makes them comfortable. The key says they're comfortable in that way. And then if they have something new they have to take care of, I mean, that's why they're not in a house usually, is because, you know, it's not what they want.
Yeah.
In a way. So not for everybody, but for a big part of it.
Yeah, I agree. Will Donald Trump die in 2024? I don't know if we want to answer that or not. What is the quantum probability now?
I hear no. But I do hear, and I'm going to say it, but I'm not going to say where, who. I do hear there's an assassination attempt, and I'm not saying it's on Donald Trump.
Okay.
But Eric says on one of the leaders, but
I will say I agree with that. I
agree with that too. I got the same thing.
Quantum probability. So will Democrats be defeated in the 2024 election? I don't know if we want to answer that. I mean, you can if you want to.
It's so hard because there is going to be cheating and lying and stuff in the election. So it's very hard to say.
Yep.
That was the next question. Are the U.S. presidential elections going to be fair and without cheating?
No.
Absolutely not. Whose side is going to do the cheating? Both sides or
both?
Yes. Both. And just so I am clear here, this could be somebody sitting in a polling office hiding things. This does not have to be on a grand scale. This could be a volunteer sitting throughout the things, hiding things election. Or
people. This one camera video of somebody stuffing a ballot box full of a bunch of ballots from dead people. Will there be any election security reforms this year at all?
A lot of fighting about it.
Eric said like fluffing a pillow. So it'll look good, but
it's all show. I got all show.
Will illegal migrants be allowed to vote in the presidential election?
Then I get that it's not going to be where they say yes, like they show it. Like it's where it's like there will be some, but it's not going to be like, oh, we're letting them. That kind of
be like cheating, like
there's going to be people who have already died who are going to vote. You know, like there's going to be there's just this. Yes.
Wow. Whoever wins, will they bring a positive change to our country? Yeah, I don't care who wins. I just want things to get better.
There's going to be some positive changes that come.
There always is. There's always some positive changes and some negative changes. It depends on your perspective. True. You know, what's good for one group of people might not be good for another group of people.
Right.
So it's a hard comparison.
That's true.
And I will also say this, like, I do believe, and maybe I'm naive, but I do believe that our politicians, for the most part, have the intentions of helping. I just feel like sometimes the system is just designed for corruptness.
Yeah.
And sometimes you get in there and you can't do what you want to do or what you think you're going to be able to do. And so you have to bend and, you know, give in some areas. And then you might look at yourself 20 or 30 years later and it's like, this is not who I started out to be.
Right.
I very much think it's a system designed to corrupt the people who are in it.
I agree.
So
you think term limits will ever come to be?
What? What was it?
Yes, term limits? Not this year, but yes, I do believe they come to be.
Because these career politicians, I mean, they have too much time to become influenced and corrupted. Last question, then we'll close. Will there be med beds given to us from the ETs?
Not this year.
Not this year. But I do hear I do hear there's going to be some like healing like with sound is going to be becoming more popular, like
good.
Even with like in the regular medical field.
The whole med bed thing, Erik says there is some already here, but as far as it
like the grand scale of it, yeah,
it's not. But we are aware of the technology.
The military
has it. Exists here. Yes.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, there's a lot. Yeah, there's a lot of that.
Emery Smith, who worked in Los Alamos or one of those Area 51, totally saw everything, all the ET technology, dead ETs, all that stuff, and he included one of these beds. It will be able to spot breast cancer and take care of it right there. And
one of the things that Erik is saying though with this is and with any kind of thing that, because they have other things like cures for things, is it's gonna hurt too many big pharma things gonna be
that's why they're keeping it
freaking bad. Get another job.
So and I will say, I'm just gonna pipe in here with my logic and reason. What you were getting at, Ginger, is if all of a sudden we had that technology and it was like a big fuck you to big pharma,
right?
So economically speaking, so many people would be financially devastated if all of a sudden big pharma was gone. All the people that work within that industry,
making it, that's true, making it a living and then paying taxes.
Right.
It's just like when people say, "Oh, there should just be no more cigarettes." Well, yeah, in an ideal world, that'd be great. But if all of a sudden we didn't have any more cigarettes, millions of people would lose their jobs. Millions. It would just
which is common, Erik says, which is common. And I didn't mean to interrupt you, Jennifer. He just said, which is common for humankind to think about, oh, we want to get rid of stuff, but not thinking of the consequences.
Yeah.
You know, not thinking of those consequences.
I don't like the windmills, killing whales and bats and birds and all that stuff. So it's hard to predict future consequences. It really is difficult. And disruptive technology, like when they went from horse and buggy to the Model T Ford, that was very difficult for people. And they said, no, they were so upset. The horses are going to be put out of business, etc. But then a whole nother industry where somebody had to get the rubber for the tires, blah, 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 mechanics. So it's growing pains. All right. Thank you, ladies.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Bye, guys. Bye. Seeing everyone.
Bye. Bye. Thank you. Love you. Erik says love you.
Love you more.